What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Breaking the Mold podcast. My name is Jillia. I'm here with Matt and Logan of Mighty Media Solutions.
YOLO!
What's up, guys?
What's up? And today, we are going to be talking about marketing horror stories.
Bum, bum, bum.
Scary.
Yeah.
Spooky stuff, you guys.
It is.
Let's just get right into it. So last episode, we did talk a little bit about, trying to avoid those month-to-month website contracts with marketing agencies. And we're just going to pick right back up where we left off because Logan actually has a horror story about that.
Yeah. It was a very scary situation.
Was it dark out?
It was dark out, yeah. It was during, I believe, the November or October months.
Was it really?
No.
Oh my gosh, that would have lined up perfectly.
It actually occurred on October 31st.
Dang.
Hallows Eve.
Yeah. This one, it stuck out to me because it was one of the, it just was an overall like sucky, I guess, situation for everyone involved. So, this was in a past agency I was working with at the time. We were working with an HVAC company for a while, built the website, doing some really good lead generation stuff. And they got approached by another marketing agency that was specific to their industry, right?
Ooh.
So they were a marketing agency that only worked with HVAC companies, right?
Yeah.
So the business owners kind of had like shiny object syndrome, I think is the term there.
Take my money.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So they're like, well, these guys are, specialty people. They know exactly the industry. So anyways, they ended up going, and we're working with this other agency. They took over the lead generation strategies. They took over the website and the hosting and everything. So we ended up obviously with nothing left. A month later, the business owner randomly reached out to me and was like, "Hey, Logan, do you guys happen to have any of the backup files or anything from the website side of things?" And we're like, "No, I mean, we all kind of sent that over to you. Once we send you the backups, we're kind of like our hands are clean with everything, right?" Come to find out that the specific HVAC agency they were working with went out of business. They, for whatever reason, they shut the doors. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Womp womp.
They shut the doors, so that meant that they were out for lead generation strategies. They were out with their website. The agency didn't back up their website. They were supposed to, and the hosting was completely gone, obviously. So they were left with literally nothing.
Yeah.
And they had to come crawling back to us to be like, "Hey, we kind of made a mistake here. Can you guys kind of help us fix this problem?" Right? So we did rebuild their website, and just because I'm a good human being, gave them a little bit of a discount off the website to be able to get them up as
What a
something.
nice guy.
Aw,
Yeah,
it's so sweet.
Glad you're on my
It's
team.
just
Right?
how I am,
Yeah, just
But
you.
there's a couple of takeaways here, right? The shiny object thing, right?
Yep.
You always want to do your due diligence when it comes to working with marketing agencies, just in general,
Absolutely.
right? And they got suckered into something that they were overpromised and thought it was going to be a home run, and
Yep.
the agency, I guess, I don't know, but was very underestablished. They probably, I don't know, whatever happened, right? And they got left just within the dirt here. So another thing too is, from both sides, big thing that I learned in that situation was how good was I thinking the relationship was at that point, right? I thought we were doing some good stuff. We were doing okay with the lead generation services. I thought I had built a really good relationship with the business owner, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for them to be like, "Hey, I'm getting approached by another agency here. They're saying we could do this. Like, let's have a conversation about it." They were like, "I'm just going to go with them."
Yeah.
Right. So it was a learning moment for us to be able to understand and really help and work with the retention rate with our clients to make sure that we actually have that relationship and partnership, which is a key focal point within Mighty Media Solutions.
Sure
right?
is.
Absolutely.
Tough situation.
We love our
those
clients.
We do. We do.
We just hope they love us back.
guys. Yeah.
We do hope
hope.
so. I mean, sometimes when you love something, you got to be willing to let it go.
That's true.
Oh, and it comes
Yes.
back to you. It's yours forever.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
And that's
a terrible
why,
way.
and that's my cheesy intro to why we don't have long contracts here at Mighty Media.
Man.
But a lot of agencies do. They want to trap you. They want to keep you. But our philosophy is, why do we want to keep you if neither of us are happy?
Mhm.
You know,
That is true. Get out of here.
just go.
Just see it.
If you don't want to be with us, just go.
Yeah, I think it goes off of, just the horror stories that we've seen where people are locked in and like there's nothing they can do because they signed a long-term contract with this agency that is under delivering, right? It's so easy for agencies to be, hey, I'm going to sign you up for a 12-month contract, and then 3, 4, 5 months down the road, you can't get in touch with that agency.
Yep.
They're not reaching back out to you. The report's stopped. You don't know what they're doing anymore, and all this stuff, right? And I'm just saying this because this is what we hear from our clients, right? That we start a relationship with. This is what they're telling us happened to them, right? And it's just always the same thing, and we can almost like predict it. Like they tell us, like, oh yeah, I'm working with this agency. And we're like, oh, let us guess. They came out guns blazing for the first 3 months, and then month 4, 5, 6, you couldn't even get in touch with them. They weren't sending you reports anymore. They're like, yeah, that happens. And we're like, whoa.
We've never heard that before.
We've never heard that. It's crazy this is happening to you. But it happens, man, because sometimes business owners want to save money, right? And they go with the cheapest option.
Yep.
And what I always try to tell business owners is you just did what you always tell all of your clients not to do, right? Are you the cheapest HVAC company out there? No, you're not. Do you want your clients to go with the cheapest agency or cheapest, what am I saying here?
HVAC.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, right? HVAC company? No, you go with the cheapest HVAC company, you're going to have problems. System's going to fail. You can't reach them and all that stuff. It's the same thing with marketing agency, man. You can't go with the cheapest option because there's a lot riding on a marketing agency's back to make sure your business is thriving.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, for our perspective on this whole thing, even though we are a month-to-month agency, I will say that there are multiple instances from a digital strategy that requires time. For sure. For social media management, for SEO, for even lead generation, basically everything from a marketing perspective requires around a minimum of 3 months for really things to be taken off, right? So whenever we say to a client, hey, we are a month-to-month agency, but we need to put our heads down and get to work for at least 3 months minimum for certain things, and then allow that time to things to come to fruition and for things to optimize.
Right. Yep. So. It isn't magic. You can't just hire a marketing agency and expect them to save your failing business, know?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
It does take time. Marketing agencies are meant to build you up, help you grow, but, if you're almost in the toilet, we're probably not going to be able to, save you.
Yeah, if you are looking for leads now, you're in a desperate situation. I would say let's look internally within the business and see how the business is functioning as a whole, and work from there. Because there's holes within the systems that you have in place that are most likely allowing you to not have as many leads as possible, right? So everything from a financial perspective to referrals to just how you treat your customers, right? There's probably some holes in there. And we hate this on our end too, right? Whenever we're getting business owners that come to us and like, we are really in a bad place, we need leads now, that is almost like a red flag, essentially.
Yeah, it can be. It sure can be. And we like to dive in a little bit more and find out, why are you in this situation? Sure. And a lot of it comes to find out that your policies and procedures just they're lacking, right? So there's been people that I'm like, listen, you don't need a marketing agency right now. You need a business coach.
Yeah.
You need someone to come in and help you.
Right.
Like when you get this lead, you're not capitalizing in it. You're not winning it. What's the problem here? Do you need to change your pricing? Do you need to change your install procedures? Like what's holding you up here? Because if we can get you leads, you need leads right now. Sure. We'll get you leads right now. But if you're not closing these leads, we're not helping you. We're just helping you spend your money and not earn any money.
You can't market what isn't there. Like if a business isn't doing their part to be the business that we're portraying them to be, then marketing efforts aren't going to make a difference.
That's a really good point. We talk a lot about partnerships and relationships, right? But we need them to be bought in as much as we're bought in too, right? If they're relying us to do the lead generation, but they're not handling everything on their end to make sure that the leads are hunted down and qualified, all that stuff that is required for the business owner, then, of course, they come up to us, be like, hey, we're not getting any phone calls. But then that's when we kind of revert back to the tracking part of this, be like, oh, well, actually, you got 15 phone calls, but 90% of them weren't answered, and the one that was answered, the customer service, the CSR on the phone was not very nice, right? So we can kind of show that to business owners and kind of open eyes that way.
Yeah, if you're spending money on marketing and you're not answering your phone and you're sending your clients to voicemail, you are missing the mark completely.
Right. We can do what we can to try to show people who you are, but if that's not authentically who you are, people are going to see through that immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of homeowners think, and a lot of business owners think like, man, it's just me. I don't have time to answer the phone and stuff like that. Where it's like, well, you might have to hire somebody to answer your phone because you can't afford not to have anybody answer your phone. So you can bring in a CSR to answer your phone, help dispatch, which a lot of business owners are like, man, I can't afford it. But it's like, dude, you're losing so many calls. If you're losing these install calls that are $15,000 a pop, and you lost 4 of them in that month, like you could have hired 2 CSRs with that.
Yep. 100%.
Right. So it's like you got to know how to balance that out and when it's the time to hire somebody to answer your phones.
Right. Sometimes you got to spend money to make it.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. What's next?
I mean,
what else do we have? There's a lot out there.
There are a lot of horror stories out there. I mean, have either of you seen a business that was just trying way too hard to be their competitor?
No, that never happens. That never happens at all. Yeah, you have copycats out there for sure. You have copycats out there. We've had our own, and we just humble ourselves and be like, hey man, we're doing something right if we got that happening, right? But if you're going out there and all you're trying to do is copy your competition, people will notice that.
People notice. People notice.
People notice. That's why one of our core values is authenticity, right? Like you have to be yourself. Again,
absolutely.
Let people buy in on your story. Let people see your journey. All that stuff. Don't try to have someone else's journey.
Right. And, if you find that someone else is copying you, it can be very easy to let that get under your skin and try to separate yourself from them. But at the end of the day, they're not being authentic. You are. So, if you find that you have a competitor that's copying your every move, let them. People will see right through that.
Yeah. If you have a competitor, if you have somebody copying you in the same industry, everyone in your industry knows each other, right?
Right.
People will notice that. People will see it. And people will think that you're just, you're being kind of scummy and you're not running an authentic business. And, you got to change it. It's not too late. Just stop doing it. Come up with your own content. Now, will there be times where it looks like you might be imitating somebody? If you're copying somebody, sometimes that happens. There's trends out there that everyone's going to do and stuff like that. It's going to happen, whatever the case may be. But if you're reading script for script on stuff, people are going to be able to read through that, and your inner circle is going to be able to read through that, and hopefully you have somebody that's going to tell you to cut it out.
Right.
But yeah, that can be hard for business owners to see all the hard work you're doing being copied by somebody else. So just cut the crap, will you? Stop it. Yep. What else?
I mean, we can go back to talking about websites if you want.
We could talk all day about websites.
We could.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about websites.
Let's do it. Should you build your own? Is that something people should get into?
Sure. Go for it. I think you can build your own website. Have something up. Just do it. Just get something up. Don't not have a website up. You want to have something that's showing off your story, showing off that. If you have the money, buy a website, buy a professional website, get that up and going and stuff like that. And do not, can I dare say it? Because I know we talk about it a lot. Do not pay for a monthly. Don't pay for a monthly subscription website.
You shouldn't pay for a monthly subscription website.
That's the scariest thing you could do.
Yeah. That is the scariest thing. And I think that's scary enough that we can stop there. I'm scared.
I'm scared too. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
On that note, thanks for listening. This has been Matt, Jillia, and Logan of Mighty Media on the Breaking the Mold podcast.
See you guys.
Peace out, yo.
Bye.